Have you ever wondered how Abram became so wealthy and greatly blessed? The Bible gives us a powerful answer. Abram's story teaches us that true prosperity begins with trusting God, obeying His voice, walking in faith, and becoming a blessing to others. In Genesis chapter 12, God called Abram and gave him a remarkable promise. God said, "I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing." Genesis 12:2. Notice something beautiful. God did not simply say, "I will give you wealth." He said, "I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing." God's blessing had a purpose. Abram was blessed so that his life could become a blessing to others. Abram had to leave his familiar surroundings and step into an unknown future. He did not know everything that would happen, but he trusted the God who was leading him. And Abram obeyed. As Abram continued walking with God, his possessions increased greatly. Genesis 13:2 says, Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. Think about those words. Abram was very rich. His wealth was not limited to one area. He had livestock, silver, and gold. But there is an important lesson here. Abram's heart was not controlled by possessions. At one point, Abram and Lot had become so prosperous that their herdsmen began arguing because there was not enough room for all their livestock. Abram could have demanded the best land for himself, but instead he acted generously. He told Lot, "Please separate from me." And Abram allowed Lot to choose first. Lot looked toward the well-watered Jordan Valley and chose what appeared to be the better land. Abram was willing to let go. He trusted that losing the best-looking opportunity would not cause him to lose God's blessing. And after Lot separated from him, God spoke to Abram again. God told him to lift up his eyes and look in every direction. Then God promised, "All the land which you see I will give to you and your descendants forever." Genesis 13:15. What a beautiful lesson. Abram did not have to manipulate people. He did not have to fight for everything. He did not have to compromise his integrity to become prosperous. He trusted God, and God continued to guide and bless him. Later, after Abram rescued Lot, the king of Sodom offered Abram possessions, but Abram refused. He said that he would not take anything that belonged to the king. Why? Because Abram wanted everyone to know where his provision came from. He trusted the Most High God. And in Genesis 15:1, God said something incredibly powerful to Abram. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward." God himself was Abram's greatest treasure. Yes, Abram had silver, gold, livestock, and great possessions. But above everything else, he had God. Later, Genesis 24:1 tells us, "The Lord had blessed Abraham in all things." And Abraham's servant testified that God had blessed his master greatly with flocks, herds, silver, gold, servants, and possessions. But Abraham's prosperity was connected with a life of faith and obedience. Genesis 26:5 says that Abraham obeyed God's voice and kept his commandments. So what can we learn from Abraham? First, trust God even when you cannot see the entire path. Second, obey God even when obedience requires sacrifice. Third, do not allow money to become your master. Fourth, be generous when God blesses you. And fifth, remember that God is the source of every good blessing. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth." And Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and He adds no sorrow with it." So if you are praying for financial breakthrough, prosperity, provision, and abundance, remember Abraham. Don't only pray, "God, give me money." Pray, "God, bless me so that I can become a blessing." Ask God to give you wisdom. Ask Him to guide your decisions. Ask Him to bless the work of your hands. Ask Him to give you opportunities that are honest and honorable. And ask Him to give you a generous heart so that when abundance comes, you will not forget the one who blessed you, because the greatest prosperity is not simply having more. It is having God's presence, God's wisdom, God's peace, and God's blessing in your life. May the God who blessed Abraham guide you, strengthen you, provide for you, and bless the work of your hands. And may your life become a blessing to many others.